All right, and now for our woodwind instruments, we're starting off with a classic flute. So right there, you can see it has a very light, brilliant, and airy timbre. That's how I would describe the flute. If you have any other observations, they're valid. Just because I haven't mentioned them doesn't mean it's not correct. As long as it makes sense. You can't say it's a rumbly timbre. It definitely does not have that. All right, next one, the oboe. So right there, very reedy and pungent kind of texture. I would say more reedy. And it looks like a clarinet, but it is definitely not a clarinet. It is an oboe. You can tell by that mouthpiece, but also from the sound quality. So let's hear what a clarinet actually sounds like. So I'd say it has a bit more of a hollow timbre. It sounds a bit rounded. It also has a bit of a nasally sound, like, and that's not a bad thing. It's just the way it sounds. And that's what makes it special. All right, let's go to our next one. We have this thing. What is that? That is the bassoon. All right, right there, that's the bassoon. It has a slightly rich, a bit of a buzzy texture, but it's definitely deeper than all the other woodwind instruments that we've just looked at. All right, let's go to our next one. Now, this one isn't really a classical woodwind instrument, but this is one people always get confused. The saxophone is not a brass instrument. Although it's similar with its valves, the mouthpiece is really what makes it a woodwind instrument, right? You'll see that the oboe, the clarinet, and the saxophone, they all use reeds. The flute doesn't use a reed, but it's still a woodwind instrument because of how it's played, how it splits the air. Whenever the air is being split in the instruments, it becomes a woodwind instrument. A brass instrument is more about how your lips are vibrating on the mouthpiece, okay? So this is the saxophone, woodwind instrument. All right, right there. A bit of a sharp, reedy timbre, but very classic sounding. You can't say it's a classic. Classic does not mean timbre. That's just the way this is just a very classic instrument when it comes to jazz. It's not your typical orchestral instrument, but you can still find it in an orchestra. All right, and that right there are our woodwind instruments.